And we talked about how those big guys would play. You brought up Flo Thamba a couple of times. Both the big guys were vital particularly, but they were really instrumental for the Bears.
Well, I thought they did a terrific job. Jay talked about their prowess on the offensive glass, but I thought defensively they were terrific. Anytime Gonzaga would run any dribble handoff or any ball screen situation, the bigs were up and diverting the ball handler, which gives you time to be able to recover on the backside. I thought they were outstanding in that phase of the game.
That was the best defense I've seen since the 89-90 UNLV team. I mean, they were up and underneath people. They distorted passing lanes. They got deflections. Yeah. They pushed the Gonzaga out one step further, created offense out of their defense. How about this? Out of the defense, they're plus 10. Offensive rebounds, plus 11. Bench points, plus 14. And outscored Gonzaga from the three-point line by 15 points. They dominated this game in every aspect. We said they had to rebound the ball. Baylor rebounded the ball. We said they had to win with their defense. They won with their defense, and they won with their three-point shooting. That was an absolute impressive performance by Baylor.
Baylor was up 17 in the first half, and Gonzaga got it down to 10 at halftime. So you're thinking 10 is a manageable number. You get it to halftime, you're thinking, okay, they got a real shot here. Jared Butler, whatever opening there was in that door, Jared Butler slammed in the first few plays of the second half. He knocked down 2 big shots, and you're going, that's game there. You can't recover from that. That was a door-slamming, championship-winning answer by Jared Butler to start the second half.
You know, you've seen the graphic pop up on the screen a couple of times. Baylor, the third team to beat an undefeated squad in a national championship game. And as we were watching this, look, there's no guarantees, and Big 12 is a tough conference. But if not for the COVID pause, I mean, Baylor was undefeated for a really long time in this season as well. We talked about it when we were watching the game today.
I mean, I believe that, and we talked about it, is that without the COVID pause, I believe Baylor would have been undefeated going into this game. We would have had 2 undefeated teams playing one another. Now, they should have played each other in December. That game, COVID wound up calling that game off. But that's how good Baylor's been all year long. I just didn't think that the passing and cutting of Gonzaga would be disrupted to that level. When Gonzaga made a cut, it didn't matter because nobody could see them. They were right on. They were forcing them to turn their back. Anytime Drew Timme had the ball and would drive a big guy, he lost the ball. There was just so much pressure on them. They couldn't do sort of what they would normally do, and that was not a normal defense they played against.
All pressure buys time. And the ball pressure of Baylor bought all the time to take away those cuts like you were talking about. Their ability to dominate the ball, Fonz, at the point of attack and push them out and turn ball handles, like you said, Jay, was dominant. I mean, it was incredible. And you're talking about a historically good offensive team. And we started to see it. Once they started the tournament, Baylor, if you look at their numbers in the tournament, they're forcing 16 turnovers a game. They're holding opponents to 25 from the 3, 45 from the 2. But when they're sitting and pressuring the basketball, unless you're just going to beat a guy and have spacing, there was nothing that Gonzaga could do to get downhill and get to the rim.
The only time Gonzaga really felt any freedom on the offensive end was if there was a bad shot that led to a long rebound or there was a turnover where they were able to get out in transition. And Seth, I mentioned this to you last week. It reminded me coming into this game of when LeBron was with the Miami Heat and Tim Duncan, of course, with the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs represented cutting and concepts and things of that nature. Isolation basketball from Miami. Miami was Baylor, and I thought Gonzaga was San Antonio, and I was interested to see which style would prevail. And as we look at each of the teams tonight, Baylor's greatest strengths prevailed. It was their defense, it was their elite three-point shooting, and it was their finding the matchup out in the perimeter and being able to isolate a guy and take him.
Being able to make individual plays, especially toward the end of a clock. And I think we all said, it's not anything new that Baylor forces turnovers. They forced a turnover almost on 1 out of 4 possessions in their opponents for the year. But it wasn't, so we said Gonzaga's got to take care of the ball. Well, it's not like they pitched it all over the place. Baylor took it from them. And that was the issue. They got bullied. And I mean that in a positive way for Baylor. Like they were just physically, emotionally, they were stronger in every facet of the game. I mean, it was really a remarkable performance by Baylor.
First possession of the game.
Great point.
4 straight possessions. They get an offensive rebound, shoot it, get another offensive rebound, shoot it, get eventually they scored. That was like a message sent. Like, here it is. This is going to be a fist fight. All right, if you're not ready to play, tough luck because we're coming after you. We're going to make every single possession just like that. And for the first 10 minutes, All right, Gonzaga had no chance. Mark Vidal, he has 6 points in this game. He has 6 points. He was dominant in this game.
Yes.
He was dominant every 50-50 ball, every ball in the glass. He was the first guy in the air. He gets caught in a mismatch. Yeah, they attacked the mismatch, but he attacked the mismatch because when he was on the small on the glass, that wasn't a fair fight. I mean, that just wasn't a fair fight. 6 points. He was a dominant player. We can talk about Teague. We can talk about Butler.
Right.
Vidal was a dominant player in this game.
You know, Gonzaga shot 51% in the game. They had 18 fewer shot attempts because of turnovers and offensive rebounds by Baylor. I mean, that was a remarkable performance and a beatdown, really.
Yeah, this team, Baylor's team is elite for sure, but the program has been good, 10, 12 years now. If not for the COVID situation last year that canceled the tournament, Baylor certainly was a contender to win the national championship a year ago. I think back, and they've had a couple of Elite Eight teams that lost to the eventual national champion. Happened in 2010. They lost to Duke in the Elite Eight. 2012 lost to that great Kentucky team. But there's something that changes when you finish the deal, get over the top, especially when you consider what they came from when Scott Drew took over. And win a championship. Your program is now regarded at a different level once you're able to finish.
Yeah, it's a separating factor. I mean, but last year's team, to your point, I think last year's team would have been a #1 seed had the tournament been played, and they would have had a shot. They would have had a good shot to win it. But they were among a handful of teams that had a good shot to win it. This year, they were among 2, I thought, that had a shot to win it. And I thought Gonzaga would perform at a higher level in that game, but it's not because Gonzaga couldn't rise to the occasion. It was because Baylor took it away from them. Baylor was just better.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.